Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is gonna be such a fun video. I have wanted to do one of these for so long, but I have been holding off until fall was a little bit closer. But in this video, I'm going to be reading thriller books for a full week, and I'm so excited about it. Now, I went on Amazon and I got a couple of books that I thought would be really fun to read, and I'm going to show those to y'all now. So the first book that I got was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Now, I didn't have like my sights set on this book. I typed in thriller books and I was just like scrolling through Amazon, and this book was like on a crazy deal. So I think I got this book for like $5 on Amazon. Super, super cheap. So yeah, got this. Super excited to read this. I think I'm gonna read this one first. And then the second book that I got was a book that literally everyone and their mothers and brothers and sisters have read, and that's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I'm super excited to read this one. I know that this is like a lot of people's favorite book, not plural. So excited to read this. This one's probably gonna be my second one. Now, my dilemma here is that I got a third book because I thought that I could read 3 in 1 week. Like, I've done it before, I can do it again. But when the book came in, I feel like my plan might have derailed a little bit. So I got The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. Now, at first glance, looks great. Looks like a good book. Now, this is what it looks like compared to like the average book, and this is what it looks like from like a side angle. Look at how thick this book is. Now, I get that it's a thicker book, so it's gonna have, I get that it's like a smaller dimension wise book, so like it's gonna have more pages, but this literally has like 640 pages. So I'm a little nervous about this. Don't know if I'm going to finish this in a week. We might just have to finish those 2 books and start on this book. We'll see. If it's like an 8-day challenge, that's fine. But I'm scared that this might take me a little bit longer. So we're just going to see how this goes. But I'm definitely going to read those 2 for sure in a week. And then once I'm done with the week, we're going to kind of like dissect each book. And I'll tell y'all what my ratings are for each. And we can kind of like see which one was my favorite. So I'm so excited. And yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along with me. So it's been a couple of hours since I last talked to y'all, or basically when I started the book, and I am on page 45, and I just made it. I thought this would be a good time to update y'all because I just made it to this page where it says part 2. So I'm 45 pages in. I really like it so far. It was a little confusing at first. I thought that it was going between different point of views, but I don't think it was. I guess it could have at the very beginning, like, but it's not now overall. But so far it's following Cadence, this girl, and it kind of gives off like Summer I Turned Pretty vibes and like the Summer Broken Rules, because the Summer Broken Rules, because every summer they go to this island. It's like their grandparents' little like, I guess like cove. I don't know how to explain it, but it's called Beechwood, and they've been going there since they were kids, and it's like the cousins and then this guy named Gat. I don't think that's his full name, but his name is Gat, and Cadence and him are like kind of a thing, kind of not, and it's just gone over their summers kind of like leading up to now. It said the 15th summer, so I think they're 15 right now, but not a lot has happened yet. I guess it's kind of like building up right now, but I do like it so far. I want it to start getting like, I love when I can't guess what's gonna happen next, and I want it to get to that. But I like how big the text is, so I think I'm gonna fly through this book. Like, I genuinely think I might finish this tomorrow. because I'm already that much through and I've only been reading for like an hour. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit when I'm a little bit further. Okay, so it's a little while later. I think the last time I talked to y'all was like 3 or 4 hours ago, and I just finished We Were Liars. And guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I just cried my eyes out at the end of this book. It came out of nowhere. Like, I literally just started bawling my eyes out. But to be fair, I don't want to give anything away, but I cry when there is any sort of death, like at all. If it's anyone that I liked. So it just came out of nowhere and I just started crying. It also didn't help that there was an animal death, and those just make me lose my mind. So I finished this book in literally about 24 hours. It was probably a couple hours more, like 26, 27 hours, but I'm going to give this book, I think, 3.5 stars, but that is not my final rating because I like to sit and think about the book for a couple of days. So I'm gonna do all my final ratings at the very end of this video after I've finished every book. But for right now, I'm gonna go with 3.5 stars. The ending was not what I suspected. I didn't guess anything at the end. It like came out of nowhere. But like I said earlier, like the writing of the book was a little weird. It just wasn't written like the books that I normally read. I just don't know how to explain it. I really don't. So I'm sorry that I can't explain this well, but 3.5 for now. The next book that I'm gonna read is gonna be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This book is kind of on the line of being a thriller. Some sources that I saw said it was a thriller and some said it wasn't. It was more of like a mystery. So we're just gonna pretend that it's a thriller. But yeah, this is going to be my next read. Okay, so it is the next day. I talked to y'all last night when I was starting this book. I'm now a third of the way through. I'm on page, if I can get there, 127. And I really like this book so far. It's like a whodunit kind of book. And it reminds me of another book that I've read, and I cannot put my finger on it. It's not The Paris Apartment, even though it has like the same sort of like whodunit vibes, but I cannot like remember what book it reminds me of. But I do really like this book so far. I can't put the book down because I want to know who the killer is in the book. Basically, if y'all don't know, I feel like everyone has read this book, but like 4 or 5 years ago, a girl went missing and they started looking at all the suspects and they thought that it was the girl's boyfriend. And as soon as they kind of started looking into that, they found his body. He was dead. And so they think that he committed suicide because he killed his girlfriend and they were looking for him. But now, like 4 or 5 years later, this girl who goes to the same high school and has like kind of the same friends and stuff, she was younger, but she's going to the same high school they went to, and for her senior project, she's like reopened the case and like launching a full investigation. And so the whole book is her kind of like interviewing everyone that was in their lives, and like she's a lot of mutual friends that were like friends with Andy and Sal, the 2 people that died. So like it's going through all that, and she's trying to figure out who the real killer is because she doesn't think that the boyfriend killed the girlfriend. So it's very intriguing. I will say that they're interviewing so many people and bringing up so many different like friends, teachers, parents, bullies, like just so many things that it's getting a little bit confusing for me. Like they'll mention someone and I'm like, who is that again? Like it takes me a minute, but I really like it so far. I'm about a third of the way through. And yeah, I will update you guys when I get a little bit further along. So it's the next day and I am now 211 pages into A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I still really, really like it. I definitely want to know who the killer is, and I just don't want to put the book down. I will say that I'm still getting so confused on like who is who at times, which I don't like when I'm confused in books because then it makes me not enjoy it as much, if that makes any sense. So like I'm really enjoying it, but at the same time I'm also really confused. Yeah, so I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as I thought I was gonna enjoy it. Like I know a lot of people have given this 5 stars and I don't think it's gonna be 5 stars for me. I think it's gonna be really close, like probably a 4-star book, unless it has just like the best plot twist at the end or like best outcome. Maybe it could still be 5 stars. It's a really good book. I'm reading it a little bit slower than the first book. I think just because the first book had a lot bigger text than this book, but I love a good mystery. I love trying to like think of who the killer is. So I'm really excited to find that out. I'll probably update y'all next whenever I'm done with the book. I forgot how many this has. Does it have like 400 pages? Yeah, it has about 400 pages. So I'm a little bit more than halfway through. If you can see, I have this much left, but I will talk to you guys when I'm done with the book. Hi everyone, it's the next day. I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder last night, and I'm just gonna go over it really quickly. So I ended up giving this 4 stars. The ending was very surprising. Like I would not have guessed that that would have been the ending. And it honestly really reminded me of Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. And I rated that book 5 stars. This one was so close to being 5 stars, but something about it just, it wasn't there. Like that last 1 star just was not there. So it did have a pretty good plot twist at the end. I definitely want to read the next books in the series, but 4 stars. And then immediately after I finished that, I started the last book, which is The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter, which, oh my God, she has such like a fitting last name to write thriller books. But at the beginning of this video, I was like, I don't know why I got that. Like, what is this? Like, why does the book look like this? I did not know that mass paperback was a thing, but it is. Still don't entirely understand why they do it, but a lot of mass paperback books are really small like this. So this is, like I said, over 600 pages. But once I started reading, I realized that I think this is actually gonna fly by a lot quicker than I thought. So right now I'm on page 50. And because the page is so small, you go through the pages faster. There's like not as much text on each page. So I think I'm gonna get through this a lot quicker. I think I have 2 days left in like the week span. So if I finish it in 3 days, that's fine. It's still about a week, but this book is pretty good so far. This one is also reminding me of another book that I rated 5 stars, and it was The Overnight Guest by Heather Gudenkoff. This one is, I'm only now onto the first chapter. So there was like the first bit that told you the backstory, and then now I'm on chapter 1, but the first 50 pages just go over this girl, Charlotte and Samantha, which is funny because Samantha is my sister's name, but they're these young girls who they lived on a farm and the farm burned down. So now her dad is living by himself, and then the girls and their mom are living in this other house that they went to go live in after their farm burned down. And one day these girls are just in the house and their mom calls them into the living room, and there's 2 guys with like hoods over their head and guns, and they end up shooting and killing the mom, and then they take the girls out to the woods and they're gonna kill them there too. But one of the girls takes off running, the younger one, and we don't know what happened to her yet, but she took off running, and the older girl that told the younger sister to run, they ended up shooting her in the head and buried her alive. So off to a crazy start, but I'm super excited to get into this. I will update y'all when I'm probably another like 100 to 200 pages in. This book is so thick that I don't want to give updates every like 50 pages because then I would have like 20 updates. So I will update y'all when I'm a little further into the book. Hi guys, it is like 12:30 in the morning right now. I've been sitting out here in the living room reading, and I'm currently on page 302 of The Good Daughter. I really like this so far. I will say that really the only like thriller part that's happened so far was the very beginning of the book when the like murder took place, like the main plot of the book took place, and now it's present day and it's kind of just like going through present day life. So nothing crazy has happened since the beginning of the book, which is fine because honestly, if I had to stop reading this right now, I could rate it like 4 stars. Like it's so good, but something else has to happen. Like I know at the end something has to happen and I'm really excited for it. I'm also flying through this book a lot faster than I thought I would. There's like 640 pages, but I think because the pages are a lot smaller than the average book, like you read pages faster. So it's 12:30 right now, but I'm gonna keep reading. I've been staying up pretty late lately, so I'm gonna keep reading and I'll update y'all in the morning where I'm at. Okay, so I finished The Good Daughter and I wanted to give y'all my final rating. So I ended up, as of right now, this is gonna be a 5-star for me. I did not think that oh my God, my voice just cut out. But I did not think that a 640 page book would ever be a 5-star for me, but it was so good. It was also so sad. I do want to throw out a disclaimer that if you, because I want to recommend this book to y'all, but if anyone wants to read this but they're triggered or sensitive to talks of rape or like gun violence and stuff, maybe just don't read this because that is a very prominent topic in this book. It's talked about a lot, so maybe don't read it, but it is a very sad, emotional, like page-turning book. I will say that it wasn't like scary in the sense of like it kept me on my toes the whole time, like it did, but it didn't, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know. It's just, it wasn't the best like thriller I've read, but it was a 5-star read. It was a really good book. Out of the 3 books that I read, that one would definitely be my favorite. And then I think my next favorite would be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This book was so good too. I'm so excited to read the next, I think there's 2 books, 2 more books in the series, so I'm so excited to read those. This was also another page turner. Like I just did not want to put it down. Also, this book feels so like small and flimsy compared to Holding the Good Daughter, but really liked this book. This is I think I rated this 4 stars, and this is my second favorite that I read. And then my third favorite would have to be We Were Liars. Literally the order that I liked these books was like opposite of the order that I read them, but this was also another really good book. I think I rated this, I cannot remember what I rated this. I'll put it on the screen, whatever I rated this, because for some reason I cannot remember. I need to look at Goodreads, but this one is a little bit more like YA though. I mentioned how this one has like a little bit of a weirder like writing style. Not weird, like it wasn't bad, but it was just written a little bit differently. And like, I want to show y'all like an example page. Like the text is so big in this book, so it was so easy to read and like fly through, but this is also a really good book. I would recommend this too. But yeah, that is everything for my reading thriller books for a week. I had a lot of fun. I love these challenges because it's a good way to like knock out books really quick. So I'm so happy that I did this. And if you guys liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.